What's up, guys? Today we're going to talk about how we're going to put this book to use. And I'm going to talk about how to ask the better questions so that we can really uncover the pain. The people I'm talking to, predominantly they're in foreclosure process. So I want to be able to use that as a tool using this exercise so that I can be able to talk to them so that they don't really feel intimidated and to really move the conversation forward. Uh, so we're gonna do this together. I will need your help to really put this into work. So we're going to focus on the problem questions in here. If I remember correctly, last time we read it, there's a exercise, right? What we're gonna do as a review, how do you ask the better problem questions? It's a what buyers actually say. All right. So this is a little bit, the buyer and seller is going to be confusing you just because we are in the, I'm trying to prospecting, I'm doing the cold outreach. So it's a little bit different, but you got to adjust this. So when asking problem questions, we need to do our homework first, ask only a few well-focused situation questions that will set the context for us to asking the problem questions you need to ask. Do you use a variety? Ask problem questions directly, indirectly, and through linked phrases. And do you follow up? Ask clarifying. Do you follow up? Ask clarifying problem questions when your buyer begins to reveal problems, dissatisfactions, or difficulties. When to ask problem questions, this is irrelevant, but it's relevant on the end. But so how to ask the let's see what's the better question to ask. High risk recognition. Da 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 da. Okay. Okay, we're probably going to use this form. So situation, potential areas, potential problem areas, and the problem asked to solve, uncover, right? So let me put this down and put this into work. Okay, we have customer, customer or client name, meeting date. Okay, what's the situation? Any further facts we need and potential problem areas, right? We got problems that might exist and that we can solve. And we have the section problem questions to ask, which is to uncover and explore implied needs. What are problems, difficulties, or dissatisfactions? Okay, so those are the areas, right? So assuming I'm going to meet a foreclosure personnel today, I'm going to talk to them. So the situation, what can be the situation? What are the situations? I think the first one will be any further facts we need to discuss. The situation is I lost a job. I lost my job, and I am behind on payments. Right. So that might be the situation that this person lost a job, and they might be, if they are behind payments, they could be. Let's look at an example. Problems of which our product or services can solve. Right. So they can lose the job, or they may not really lose the job, have so many medical bill else, and family got sick, family member sick, and I got so many medical bills to take care, right? Or what else they could the situation could be, um, I got a non I got a tenant not paying me, so I am behind on payments, right? Or you could also have, I'm in divorce. I got a divorced, and I I no longer live in the house, but the ex is not paying the payments, not making the payments. That caused me behind. Right, divorce is wrong. All right. What else? What else do you think? What could be a situation that caused them behind? Right? Or I lost my job. I have encountered a lot of people. I did a forbearance in COVID. Now the forbearance ended, and I don't have the money to pay everything off. This could be a situation, right? What else? What else can be a? What are the other situations?
Okay, yesterday I talked to a gentleman. He inherited house. I inherited house. Um, but the payments too. I tried to make payments, but I can no longer making the payment because the payment is too high. Right. Okay. So this is a 6 different scenarios. It's all related to uh, that behind on payments, right? You got a lot of medical bills you need to taking care of. You got a tenant who's not paying me, so that cost me behind. It got under my skin, right? I divorced and I'm no longer living in the house, but I'm the one making the payments, which is makes no sense, right? Sometimes, and the forbearance ended, but I don't have the money to pay everything off all at once. Or I inherit the house, but I try to make all the payments, but payment is too high, so I'm no longer able to make the payments. Okay,
Okay,
so
so
there's
there's
some
some
technical
technical
difficulties,
difficulties, I
I guess.
guess.
All right, all right,
Can you guys hear me?
can
Can
you
you
hear
guys
me?
hear me?
Okay,
Okay,
great.
great.
Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
god, I lost the audio for a second. Um,
So
so I just go through all the situations that I can think of based on my experience so far. We have family member is sick. I'm taking care of the medical bills in this situation, right? And I have a non-performing tenant. I lost my job. I got behind. I so the situation is I lost job. I got behind. Or family member sick. I got so many medical bills to taking care. Or I don't have my tenant's not really paying, so I'm behind. I'm an accidental landlord. Or I got divorced. I'm no longer living there, but I'm the one making the payments. or I did a bit forbearance during the COVID time, but now forbearance ended. I just don't have all the money to pay it off. Right. Also, I can inherit a house. I'm tired of making the payments. I tried. The payment is just too high. I can no longer afford it. So those are the 6 situations I think, and in fact, we need it. All right. Let's say the potential areas that might exist that we can solve. Right. So what are the potential problems if I lost my job? I'm behind. Right. Um, First of all is from financially it will be the lender is closing me, and I have nowhere to go. Nowhere to go. Right? Oh, it could be I lost. This can all tie in together, right? It's not just I got behind. Yes, you got behind. Um, I now lender is foreclosing me, so I have no place to go. So there's going to be distress. I have so many. I have so much equity in the house, but and I am afraid that I will lose the house, the equity I built in the year over the years. Potential, right? That could be potential problem areas. What else? They can be if I got a foreclosed, if I cannot get a foreclosure, get a foreclosure record, since I will be my job will be impacted. Right. What else? Right. So you start to get on. The tenant is not paying. So it could be. So this is financially, right? And you can all have the like personal impact. Like for example, I'm so stressed out. No, stressed out, and it caused a lot of pain physically because I have dealt with other homeowners who are actually just get off from the hospital. They were in a treatment, things like that. So they were so stressed out, right? And, or depression, things like that. I'm so stressed. I'm in depressed. What else? And I might have a hard time to find a rental in the future, or I I would not be qualified for future loans to buy houses. Right. So what else? I mean, I don't have money to move. I need to move from point A to point B if I lose the house over auction, right? That's the potential area that we could solve, right? We can if we can think about the offers we're gonna make. We're gonna make either a cash offer or we're gonna make a creative offer. How is that gonna benefit them? If we're gonna do a cash offer, we're gonna say, hey, we're gonna give you this money so you can walk away from the property. You can get and put those money into your pocket, things like that, right? And so let's engineer. So we have these 7 potential areas. We're probably going to have more areas in the future, but right now I can only think about these 7. If you thought about something else, just leave a comment down below so that we can exchange notes. That would be wonderful. Um, so potential questions to ask to uncover, explore implied needs. What's the problems? So let's say the first questions I'm only gonna I will go to ask is what got us into this situation? What got us here in this situation? Or I should say, when I start my conversation, before we dive into what got us what got us behind, what got us behind payments, right? So this is a problem. It's a problem slash situation questions to understand a little bit the factuals, right? So if they say, okay, I lost my job, I got behind, because typically they're gonna say, okay, you lost your job. I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, is is that a problem for you? So what are you concerned about the payments being behind? And the lender is foreclosing the property, right? Because some people may not have any issue with that. It could be, yeah, I'm behind, but I have money. I just don't want to pay because I ran into yesterday. Somebody was texting me and say, I was like, are you concerned about the back payments? I was like, no, I'm just going to pay it off when the time's right. I just don't want to pay it right now. And the other person is like, I have the a real amount. I just don't want to be cash poor. So I'm going to find out a way to not to pay those money. So they do have the money. If they need to pay it, they just don't want to pay it right now. Okay. So they can say, yeah, I'm so concerned about it. Okay, let's try to uncover. So that's the first level, right? I'm concerned about being behind. I'm concerned about this lender is going to foreclose on me. Okay, so in this situation, I'm probably going to ask. I think what the problem question is we're going to ask, like, what will happen? No, what will happen? What got us behind? I lost my job. Okay. Okay. Now what I'm going to ask? So what is your plan in dealing with the lender? They can say, I don't have any plan, or they can say, I'm gonna do this to work with the lender. Um, so if they're gonna deal with it, so if they're gonna say, oh, I'm working with the lender, I would say, okay, what's your plan dealing I'm going to do a loan modification and do a short sale, whatever. Say we're gonna say, what other challenges in dealing with the lender so far, right? Want to ask these issues. They can say, the lender is not responding to me, or the lender is dragging their feet because I'm actually talking to one of the homeowners right now. He might want to sell the property. I don't really know, but he's doing a loan modification, but the lender is dragging their feet, not even. And he's like, I need to sell the property, but I don't really know how much I owe. So he's requesting a payoff statements, but lender is not giving to him. What are the challenges in dealing with the lender? Okay, or they can say, I lost my job. They can say, oh, my tenant is not repaying. Okay, so I'm sorry to hear that, but what has got under your skin about the lender not performing or tenant not paying, right? What are the difficulties, right? The challenge dealing with the lender, what has gone under your skin, under your skin about the lender not performing or tenant not paying, what has been So I think we probably want to drill a little bit more deeper than this because how's that going to impact? What are you dissatisfied? What are the challenges in dealing with the lender so far? And this is see, I'm asking all those what type of questions. Are you concerned about something? Are you dissatisfied? Are you dissatisfied? What about the tenant you satisfy the most? And they can say the tenant is not paying something or it's toilet, whatever. But there's something that's going to prompt them because we probably want to ask them whether or not they want to sell the property. Right? We haven't really gone to that point yet. We're still diagnosing it because we have to lead the seller to a point they have kind of surrender to the idea. Okay, I need to address this. I need to sell. So those are the problem questions to ask. Are you concerned about payments being behind? What is the plan in dealing with the lender? What are the challenges? If they say challenges dealing with the lender, what has gone on your skin about the lenders are not performing? Um, are there any? I'm going to look at some cheat sheet. I kind of got stuck on. So what about the tenants? Let's read the book and see how they're going to ask the questions together. I think there's some questions in the book. So it says how to ask the better questions, right? We're probably going to ask by using a linked phrase. Do your homework first. Do you use a variety, probably direct, indirect through a linked phrase? Right. Okay. So let's say you let's say Mr. Seller, Miss Mr. Mrs. Mr. Or Mrs. Sarah, you, you mentioned that the medical bill has been piling up, and you are so has been piling up. What are the challenges are you facing in dealing with what are the challenges what are the uh, other crucial other essential expenses you had to choose you had to give up because of the medical bill. Right? What are the things you have to give out in order to satisfy those medical bills, right? Or we can say this in the same we can say you had mentioned that the tenant has got you behind. The tenant is not paying. What are the essential expenses you had to give up because of the tenant is not paying? Basically, it's the tenant got me behind. So now what I do? All right. It's what are the trades? So basically, this is also propping. So okay, had you not able to, you don't have to do that. Were you able to do? What is it? What would that allow you to do? Right. It's the same question. You can similar question is that Mr. Seller, you mentioned that you did a forbearance. Now the forbearance ended, right? The forbearance ended, and you don't really have the payment. It cannot really come up. You can't pay everything all at once, would that cause any other problems? Any problems other than being foreclosed on? So we probably, when we ask these questions, we probably want to deliver in a more caring manner, because this one is more like I don't know, it's a border accusing. So okay, Mr. Seller, you mentioned that the forbearance ended and you just cannot repay everything all at once. Would that cause any problems besides being foreclosed on? You say, oh, of course it's going to cause a lot of problems. I'm going to do this. They're probably going to want me to have more information in that situation. Oh, let's see what. Say, okay, a good. You mentioned that you have been having a problem with the facing the allow you use. Can you tell me more about that? Okay, we can say you mentioned that you have issue you have been having trouble paying the bill since you inherit the property. Can you tell me more about it? Or we can say, they can tell you something about, okay, I lost I can no longer making the bills because I need to fulfill this such. Can you tell me more about it? Okay, they can say, yeah, I have my own bill to catch up. I can no longer making the bills. Making the payments is like 3 grand every month, and I'm paying my rent as well, so I can no longer afford the bill. Okay, so if that's saying, is that means is that means does that means the extra payment has so if I got behind, I'm so frustrated. They're probably gonna say this. I'm so frustrated. The actual payment has been a tremendous burden on your shoulder, burden to you and your family. And then I'm probably gonna follow up with, okay, what would that allow you to do? Okay. Has the actual payment, that means the actual payment has been a tremendous each month has been a tremendous burden to you and your family. Tell me more about that. Can you please tell me more about it? Something like that. And I couldn't think of any, but I spent like 20 minutes to develop this. Let's read together. So
Some of the
I'm probably gonna do that one more time as I going through this list and to refine this. But I mean, if you can see in here is this is a targeting the foreclosure sellers. So basically, I'm saying, okay, the situation can be lost a job and I'm behind on my payments. The second, family's member sick and I got so many medical bills to taking care of. Third is I got tenant not paying me, so I got behind. Fourth, I got divorced and no longer live in the property, but the ex is not really making the payment, so that caught me behind, right? And fifth is I did a forbearance during the COVID, but the forbearance ended, so I have no money to pay everything off. And sixth is I inherit the property. I try to make the payments, but the payment is so much I could no longer afford the payments. Those are situations. A potential issue is the lender is going to foreclose on me, and I have nowhere to go. The second is I have so much equity in the house, and I'm afraid that I'm going to lose the equity built over the years, right? That's a very common one. Afraid, not fear. Um, Third is I can't get a foreclosed record on my job since it will be impacted. I'm probably going to ask like, oh, how is that going to impact you if you reduce? What do you mean by? Are you concerned about the job is going? Okay, so let me see. So if it's a job, are you concerned about? What is the matter? What's the problem? Well, are you concerned about the foreclosure records? Foreclosure records, and that will impact your employment. Yeah, I do have this is real because um, one of the client I talked to, the seller, he's a banker, so he's advising. He's more like a wealthy advisor, so he's not really making the ends meet. So how can he advise other people, right? The fourth one is I'm so stressed out, and it caused me a lot of physical pains and depression and mental issues. And the fifth one, I might have a hard time to find a rental in the future because you have this record on your back. And six will be I won't be able to qualify to buy a loan, be qualified for the future to qualify a loan to buy a property going forward. Or on the seventh, I don't have the money to move if I lost a property. So those are some potential areas we can help to resolve. So the cash offer or credit offers we can do. So the questions we could ask is what got behind the payments? Are you concerned about the payments being behind and the lender is foreclosing the property? What is the plan in dealing with the lender? They can say, I'm working on a loan modification, I'm borrowing the money from the families and friends, I'm going to file bankruptcy even. But we can I think in the future probably just going to have a different scenarios to say, okay, this is they are filing a loan modification. How we can pivot the conversation from A to B. Oh, the fifth one is what are the challenges in dealing with the lender so far? Because you're working with the lender, it's probably going to be something you can do. And fifth, what has gone under your skin about the lender not performing or tenant is not paying? The sixth is what about a tenant you're dissatisfied the most? They'll probably say, oh, the tenant is not paying. Okay, I mean, is that going to be an issue? Yes, it has been gone. What is about the tenant has gone under your skin? Okay, they're going to talk about more about that. Well, Simon, Mr. Seller, you mentioned that the medical bill has been piling out. What are the other essential expenses you had to give out because of the medical bills? Hey, Mr. Seller, you mentioned that the tenant is not paying. What are the other essential expenses you had to give up because of the tenant is not paying? And Mr. Seller, you mentioned that the forbearance ended and you cannot pay everything at once. What that cost you? Will that cause any problems other than being foreclosed out? All right. And number 10 is you mentioned that you have been having trouble paying the bills since you are inheriting the property. Can you tell me more about that? They're going to talk more about it. So okay. So does that mean the actual payments each month has been a tremendous burden on you, to you and to your family. And you're probably going to say, what would that allow you to do? What are the things you have to give up in order to? You're probably going to circle back and say, you mentioned that the actual payment has been a tremendous burden to you and to your families. What are trade-offs have we have to do in order to make it up, right? To fulfill these needs. Or are you concerned about a foreclosure records that it will impact your employment? Or I think there are very many more in here. Let's in the book. Maybe I can find it in here. Problems, difficulty, and dissatisfactions. The purpose is reveal, clarify, gain understanding. Situation. Okay, typically using the problem more effectively. Let's read it together. Um, some useful way to ask a follow-up problem question is where, when, how often, what happened if when. You can ask about the satisfactions or difficulties by asking it indirectly or by using a link phrase. Example below. How long does it take for you, current service provider, to respond when you have a problem? Right? How often does your medical break down? Where is the breakdown more likely to occur in the process? Who usually has to deal with the problem? How satisfied are you with the expense time of your current service provider? Are there specific parts of the system you think you could improve? You have said that you are basically satisfied with the current response time to fix the breakdown. Since your business has been growing in the past years, are you worried about what will happen now that the workload is increasing? Right? That I think that's a really good way to ask to ask those questions. Well, that's all I got today, and thank you for tuning in, and see you next time.